feel like such a noob when I'm recording myself doing this stuff because I have no idea what I'm doing. Hi everyone, it is Tara from the Dower Duo. I'm here in North Carolina and it is the 1st of December and it is finally getting cold. So excuse me if I shiver a little bit during this intro video. Anyways, behind me is a Ford Transit cargo van. It is a 2019. Me and Jonathan purchased this van 2.5 weeks ago with intentions of converting it into a camper van. It remains nameless, but hopefully we'll get a name for it. I actually kind of like the name Nameless. It's kind of like mysterious. So yeah, we have purchased this van. It's got 27,000 miles and we have been wanting to convert a van for a really long time. Ever since we started dating, we've kind of had that dream of converting a van. So we're finally taking the first steps to do that. We wanted the Ford Transit because we've heard really good things and it's easy to drive. And we wanted something with really low mileage that we could get a lot of life out of. So it's 27,000. It's got a really nice sleek black color we are super happy with. Jonathan is still in that really intense job training. So it's pretty much gonna be me converting this van. My dad is gonna come in and help a lot with the really hard things. So in the 2.5 weeks since we bought the van down in Georgia, I have been doing a couple things. The first step was researching and kind of figuring out what layout, a general idea of what layout and what items we want to put in the van. So with doing that research, I was able to order a lot of the first step, I guess not the first step, the couple steps ahead. I was able to order a lot of those items so I can get started on the van conversion. The second thing I did was do a bunch of measurements. So I measured everything, but while I was doing that, I realized I had these plastic liners up that are kind of preventing me from getting the full measurement of the van. So I decided to stop doing that, stop measuring, and completely strip the van and clean it. So I stripped it of these plastic liners and these tie downs. So after doing that, the third thing I did was I measured it fully. I measured it up and down, long ways. I measured these crevices inside the van just to get a full picture of our exact square footage and how much room I could work with. After doing that, after measuring it completely, I did a layout plan and me and Jonathan both agreed on a really nice layout that will give us a lot of room for a lot of our gear, but also some room to cook in a little kitchen area, a sitting area with a desk, and also for food, and then a bed as well. That's actually a full-size queen bed, which is really nice. And then I'm on actually the fourth step, which I think I'm on 4 now. But I'm on the fourth step, which is I'm going to tape the inside of the van and just kind of see with blue painter's tape. I'm gonna tape where our counter's gonna be, where our chairs are gonna be, where our bed's gonna be, just to get an idea of you know, a real live version of what the van might look like. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm going to tape the van. So let's do that. Alright, this is the full taping of our layout that we are hoping to do. What it should look like from up. So right here we have the bed. We have one bench here to sit on. Another bench that extends here. A pull-out table that comes from underneath the bed. A counter space that goes from here to here. Oops. Here to here. I'm trying to get this to focus. Hold that. From here to here, and then I have a flip down counter it goes from here to here. So I'm noticing a couple things when doing these measurements and taping it out. The first thing I'm noticing is the bed is entirely too tall. I'm like, it's up to like my chest right here. This is my arm. So I mean, the bed is entirely too tall. So the reason I put it so tall is because I want to lay side to side instead of front to back. If you measure with these little crevices here, it measures out to be about 77 inches long ways. So with a really thin insulation and thin paneling, you can technically lay side to side, but I think I can still, Jonathan is going to be about 71.5 inches, so I think I can still bring the bed down while leaving him enough room to lay side to side. Laying side to side also helps with giving us enough space in the kitchen and sitting area. I've noticed that the counter space is entirely too low, so making it a little taller. The chairs seem, I've tried to like awkwardly like hover sit on this and it feels like it would be fine. It is 18 inches by 16. I'm thinking that I might make them a little, like a tad longer. And then maybe making this pull-out table that is supposed to go underneath the bed a little thinner. Overall, I think taping it out is a really good idea to kind of get a general idea of what you're working with before you start making any cuts. Also, while I was sitting here working, I got an Amazon package, some of our part of our battery kit, and then I also got at the bottom here, I got our inverter. Yeah, so got our inverter there. So overall, going well, getting supplies in. Gonna try this layout again. Hey guys, today is the first day of the official converting of the van. Like, I've cleaned it and I've done layout planning and I'm finally ready to do the first step, which is some prep work, some body work, and we're gonna get into that right now. So I have some supplies here. The first thing, you saw me bring out these sprinklers, and the first thing I was actually going to do was hose down and sprinkle the van with water. Is sprinkle the van with water, sprinkle, hose down. Okay, we're hosing down the van. The reason we're doing that, I want to see if there's any leaks in the van that I need to caulk before actually starting everything. The next step from there would be to treat any rust and just do any preventative rust care as well. So I have here a dual grit sanding sponge. It's 60 grit and 80 grit. Somebody told me 40, but that just didn't seem like enough, so I got the 60-80, and that should be able to, if I that should be able to take out any rust that there is. The next step after that, after I've sanded all those problem spots, is to do a rust reformer to spray that, and then just for overkill do a Rust-Oleum hammered paint over top of that. And then the next thing is putting in these rivets. I'll talk more about why I'm using the rivets, but that is our prep bodywork today. Luckily, I did not find any leaks anywhere or anything suspicious, and I already marked what I want to do. So again, from yesterday, I found out that I want to lower the bed significantly and have a bigger counter space. But now that I've done that, I'm going to take this tape down and we're going to start doing body work on the inside. Let's do it. Here's an example of one of the spots that I sanded for rust. It had a pretty big rust spot and one of the biggest in the van, so I decided to go ham on that. So now I am going to just sweep it out a little bit and then spray some rust reformer on it. Alright, and that is the hammered paint and the rust reformer. It's called the color hammered, I'm not really sure. So it's silver, but I'm gonna put stuff down over it. I've seen people like paint it black over the silver, and I don't really think that's necessary since it is going to be a covered floor. So because I'm noticing that it's not drying as well as I hope it would, I'm going to close the doors and I'm going to turn the heat on in the car and just let it warm up in here. Maybe I'll get like a space heater too and plug it in for part of the night. So I'm going to clean up my mess and warm up the car. I'm starting to think that doing this van build in the wintertime was not a great idea. I didn't plan it like that, it just worked out that way. So if I could do it over, I would do it in the springtime, fall, or summer. Really any time but winter. Anyways, if you look behind us, here's a counter. I just bought this counter today at the Restore. Essentially what the Restore is, it's a donation place for your used hardware, cabinetry, furniture, really anything. It's awesome. It's an awesome place. They have a huge store in Raleigh and I've been visiting it for a while just trying to see if there was any pieces I really liked, and I found this cabinet that was really close to the dimensions of the cabinet that I want to install in the conversion van. So it worked out really perfectly. It's really well made, and I feel like making it would be a lot more work and a lot more expensive. For $74, I got this cabinet, and I also found some awesome, I've been looking at these online to make my tabletop, but I found some gear tracks that are ball point, no, it's a pen, ball. Yeah, they're really smooth, but I've been looking at like getting some of these and they're all just so expensive, and I found these for $10 at the Restore and it was awesome, an awesome deal. They're just sitting there randomly somewhere. It's like, this is, oh, oops, broke the bag, oh well. So the only things I need to do to this is paint it. I want to paint it white. I need to get some handles for the front and make a countertop too, because there is no countertop. But I think it was a really good deal. It's really sturdy. It's really well made. It was relatively cheap. Some other things, exciting news is, so I got my gear tracks, but my Max Fan Deluxe came in. Look at that. Would you look at it? So this is the next thing. I just need to make a inner backing, interior backing. I have all the other items to install this. So this will go up very soon. I'm thinking today's Thursday, so maybe Saturday, just have another hand to help me. Somebody that's free. But this came in, and also behind it is my 2 batteries. Everything's coming in, and it's coming together. It's really exciting.
You need gloves on.
Yeah, I need gloves.
All the way to the end. Don't let it drop off. Got all that, right?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. So last night, me and my dad went to Lowe's and we got floor stuff for insulating the floor and putting down the plywood. We also got some adhesives for doing that and a couple other small things. Yesterday was a big purchase day along with all of those items. It came out to around $200 for when we went to Lowe's. I also bought the insulation. I also bought the cabinet and the drawer slides. Yesterday was a big day for purchases, so feeling it a little bit. But today I'm gonna do a little more work. I should get my rivet setter, my correct sized rivet setter, so I can put some rivets in the van. Again, I still haven't quite explained that yet, but I'll explain that once I do have my rivet setter. I'm gonna make the backing frame for the Max fan today as well, using a 2x2. And what else am I gonna do today? I'm gonna prep, because I'm also gonna prep for tomorrow, which is going to be the Max fan install. The first cut in the van. Pretty crazy. Nerve-wracking. But I'm confident. I can do it. Yep, I can do it, right? Yeah. So, today, prep and backing frame. Let's do it. Honestly, y'all, I see so many people on YouTube doing these awesome builds on their vans, and it seems like they all know what they're talking about. Literally, I feel like such a noob when I'm recording myself doing this stuff, because I have no idea what I'm doing or what I'm talking about. I do have an idea, a rough idea, but compared to people like that I've been watching, getting educated by, they're just like so experienced. We're in this journey together. This is me and you journeying through this van build. I'm gonna prove that anyone can do this. If I can do this, anyone can do this. So I'm gonna make the backing frame for the inside of the van because it's a really thin piece of fiberglass, from what I have heard on YouTube. It's a thin piece of fiberglass, so we need to make a piece that goes inside of the van to screw to. So instead of buying one, I decided I was going to build one out of this 2x2, 8-foot 2x2. and just make one myself. But to do that, I need to figure out the dimensions of the piece that goes inside. So this is the thing that my backing frame is going to be screwed into. So my backing frame, which is going to be in the inside of the van, is going to look a little bit like that after I made all the cuts and screwed it in. I totally know what I'm doing. Yeah, so that is what we're going to use to measure. This can be just hang out upside down over here. Alright, I did all of my cuts of the wood, 2 long ones that are about 16 and then 14 inches, almost 14 inches. And so what this frame is going to look like, so 2 long ones are going to be right here and the 2 shorter ones are going to be right there. I'm just going to give these a quick sand because they're a little rough and then drill them together and we'll have a backing frame. Alright, cool. It's a little snug, but it's good. Yeah, cool. Yay! I got my rivet setting tool so I can do rivets today. Yay! Now that the backing frame is done for the Max fan, I am going to, hopefully this is the rivet setter. I actually don't know. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Not to say, just assuming. Okay, so why am I putting rivets in the van? I have promised you I would tell you this, and I'm finally going to tell you. The reason I am putting these rivets into the van is because I don't want to have to drill into the van body. It also gives us a little more space to play with this way, side to side. So I've been reading in several blogs and watching in several videos where people use the rivets to use these rivets to drill into the rivets right into the pre-drilled holes. And so that just allows for the potential rust. So if you were to screw right into the body of the van, there's more potential for rust there, more metal shavings. So I wanted to avoid that and just do the base of the van really well. So that's why I'm using those. The second reason is because it actually saves an amount of space. I can use it as kind of like an internal structure of the van and not need huge furring strips to bolt things to. I can use thinner ones, and with the rivets it creates a nice solid structure in the van. So it's, the profile of it is, you know, maybe half. I think in the end with the paneling I've determined it's going to be about I want to say a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch out with the insulation, with the furring strips, with the rivets. And Jonathan, we have the bed going this way and he's exactly 70.5 inches his height, and so we wanted to utilize as much space this way as possible. So with the rivets that makes it a lot easier. Yeah, that also gives us a lot more space in the kitchen area. We do not have an extended length transit van. We have the 148 wheelbase. So all of the room we can save up there, the better. So laying this way helps us a lot with that. So with these rivets, it's going to be a lot easier. Let's do this. So I've done a couple dozen of these rivets already, and it's taking a long time, but I know that without this tool it would take a lot longer. I'm really happy with the way they're looking, and I'm really happy with the way it looks. It's just taking a little longer, but a lot of manpower for one woman. But it's just taking a little longer. But if you are planning on putting rivets like these in your van, I highly recommend getting one of these tools. I saw some people doing it without the tool and it looked a lot more time consuming. This tool makes it really easy.